Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Yes, you are here on our Friday Global Affairs Update. Good morning, viewers around the world. My name is Godwin Iwejuwa, and as usual, I'm here with my colleagues, my coordinators. With us is from Toronto, Canada, Sajo Chuku. Sajo, you're welcome to Friday Global Update.
Good morning, Mike Godwin, and good morning, viewers from around the world. Just welcome to our Friday updates.
Yes, indeed.
It's going to be a fantastic. Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
A lot to talk about, George. A lot. Let's start with some home updates, George. We are hearing that the DSS is a news that just came in anyway. DSS is investigating the Bauchi State Senator allegedly sponsored some bandits to the Hajj, and the news is the DSS is looking into that. So imagine sponsoring bandits to the Hajj. Imagine the bandits that are causing havoc. We have to send them to the Hajj. I don't know if you had that. It's coming this morning. Also coming this morning. Don't worry, George. It's just few news updates. The federal government says it has begun a World Bank electrification project for about 17.5 million Nigerians. That's the World Bank is doing this on behalf of the federal government. So these are news we just got this morning. One is the sponsoring bandits to the Hajj, and the other one is this electrification project by the United Nations on behalf of Nigeria. George, do you have anything to say about that while we go into the major news? Is there any?
We have always suspected that some of the bandits from the northern part of Nigeria, which actually increased during the Jonathan era, was sponsored by a lot of government officials. So this is part of that particular, suspicion that is coming to light right now. Laris was, I think his name is Laris, and was actually sponsored by one of the government officials, a senator from Bauchi. So what we are seeing here is hopefully it will turn out to be something legitimate, but from all indications, it could mean that, what we have been suspecting is true. So that is one aspect of it, because DSS is investigating. But whether we can see the end of it, the light at the end of the tunnel regarding this case is another issue altogether, because many officials from that area were involved, and they, even the man that was always negotiating with the bandits, with the Boko Haram, he would go to the forest and talk with them and come back. I've been questioning that. How do you work for the government and then still also associate with these individuals, and the military cannot find out where they are, or whatever the case might be? So that's what it is. The evil that men do lives after them, Caesar says.
The evil that men do live after them, George. That's a strong word. Everything we do in this world, one day will catch up. There's nothing anybody can do about that. That's a fact. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
But, in regards to the project that they're doing, electrification of rural areas, I think it's a fantastic project which started a few years ago, and they have done so many things actually. With that smaller project of electrification of many of the universities, teaching hospitals and stuff like that. So recently, the World Bank, sponsored $750 million worth of electrification of some of these places. So they have, done quite a few number of projects, which is actually, most of them are completed right now, which will be inaugurated very soon. This is a good one. It's a really good one, because what it is they are not using the national grid to give electricity to. They're using fossil fuel, and which is a little cleaner and better. So, but what it is, they can go into a village and then install this, and then it will give light to a lot of people. So they're talking about 17.5 million, people or the residents to get this electrification. So I
Yes.
think it's a great one indeed. But my major question is, when you read that, you see that most of these things are happening basically in
Mhm.
the northern part of Nigeria. What about the south?
Okay. Okay.
The only one mention that was mentioned about the south was Benin. Is that the only place? Because most of the projects are being done in the north. Like for instance, Maiduguri that we are talking about. The current project is in Maiduguri and it's already completed. And the news is that even the flood did not affect it. So the question is, if external companies are sponsoring them like World Bank, what do you do with the southern part of Nigeria? There are not industries there that would need this, rural electrification, and they call it RIA. So that's one of the major questions that we need to, make sure that there is an even playing field all over the nation, so we can install these things in patches in different areas using a solar system and fossil fuel, renewable energy.
That's it, George. That's it. Using fossil fuel. Last time you were talking about that, and you were trying to say those things work here in the West, and I mean Nigeria should be able to also um, imbibe those technology and help themselves. But some
Oh,
Raji
definitely.
had another one. Yes, Raji had an opposite view. Okay, George. George, let's go to some also African news. George, it's sad what we saw in that lake. There's a great lake between Congo and Rwanda, and it's called the Lake Kivu. And yesterday we saw about what they say is 78 people drowned after a boat capsized in that Congo lake. I think we have a clip of that, George. Let's see
Hmm.
this clip before we continue. Viewers, what you're seeing there is the boat taking passengers from one end to the other, and along the line, somehow I think the boat got overcrowded, and look at that, people drowned all in that deep sea, that lake, and they say 78 people. A passenger boat of about 78 died, so probably 200 made it out. But it's sad. It's sad to see people die like this. George, what do you say? What will
It,
you say
it,
about it?
it
Did you see
is
that?
It is really sad, and that is lack of a government control over some of these things that are happening. It keeps happening and happening, and the question is, why is it that there is no government control? Government control over the people that are using these boats that are not even capable of, navigating, and then government control over the number of people that each one of the boats can carry. And this is nothing but greed. Because if you're able to carry enough that the boat can carry, I don't think this kind of stuff will happen. And what you're seeing is, human, almost like, victims all over the place. Why? Because somebody decided to carry more than enough people in order to make money, which doesn't make sense. Now the boat is destroyed and lives are lost. And this is something we keep on seeing it again and again and again and again. We don't know where this boat is going, and then so this is something that needs to be controlled, that we must ensure that these people that are operating these boats, to ensure that they do not carry too much load or too much people. Look at that. Can you imagine lives that are going to be lost in a controllable situation? So it begs the question, what is the government doing? Who are in control of this, making sure that lives are secure when these boats are leaving, and to make
George,
sure that whoever owns that boat must be put
Mhm.
to, it must be brought to justice.
Yes,
It's
it has to do. Yes, it's overloading. All of these means of transport, aircraft, buses, cars, boat, ship, all have limits to number of people that should be in it. So when they exceed that limit, obviously you have this this disaster. And that's what happened, viewers. That's what happens there at Lake Kivu, one of Africa's great lakes, between the borders of Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. 78 people drowned as that boat capsized. And as at yesterday, this morning, we are hearing that that number might be more because there are more body bags being carried away and more people not still found. George is sad. It's real sad.
It is very sad.
Very, very sad. Our condolences to those families. Our condolences to anybody that has families that have lost their loved one in this thing. George, let's come to a lot of environmental conditions that is going around the world. Environmental weather conditions. George, we have Typhoon Krathon. Typhoon Krathon is striking Taiwan, causing destruction, causing people to leave their places, displacement. Typhoon Krathon has destroyed, ravaged most parts of Taiwan. George, are you following these destructions? Typhoon Krathon. They say so far a lot of people have also not been found, so probably the thing has carried them away. So what do you have on that, George? What's the story on that?
You know, I mean, a lot of people are denying
Taiwan.
A lot of people are denying climate change, that it is real. And these are the things that, denying climate change that it is real is denying that, the influx of plastics, in the water and what the problem they are causing is not real. Because when man continues to do certain things, it will affect, the weather, it will affect everything. But nonetheless, we are in the last days. That's what we as Christians call it, the last days. And the warning was given to us, that in the last days there will be wars and rumors of wars. We're seeing it all over the place. Catastrophic events, earthquakes in diverse places, which scientifically we've seen, or statistically we have seen that there's been a lot of increase, almost 1,000, more increase in, in earthquakes around the world. So these things are real and they are happening. They prophesied that they will happen and they are happening. So with the typhoon and all the rest of them is part of the end time signals that things are coming to an end. And you see like tribal sentiments and tribal bigotry is increasing even within countries. So these are prophesied that they will happen. We don't want to get into religious aspect of things, but they are real. They are real.
George, it's real. In Taiwan now, the typhoon has really destroyed a lot of things. Also, when we come to the United States, when we come to the United States, it's also the Hurricane Helene. Hurricane Helene is, they said they've never seen anything like this before since Katrina. So far, 200 people have died from the Hurricane Helene. It has unleashed devastation from Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Yes, all of those places, people are dying from the hurricane. George, that's close to you. We have pictures also, viewers. These are some of the pictures we're seeing from that end. Very disastrous weather conditions, destroying things, killed.
In Florida, actually, more than 200 people have died already. So these are what we are seeing, and this is the effects of the weather. And we're seeing it in Florida. A whole city was almost flattened in Florida. It was a devastating sight to see. And this is one of the pictures here. People lost their homes, and where the government has actually done a lot, to help. They are promising to help rebuild some of these places, which is very, very nice. So we thank God for that. But you cannot replace some of the sentimental values of properties and things that are lost in this whole entire saga.
You cannot replace, George. You cannot replace.
Cannot.
It's very, very, very serious. So while we're talking catastrophic weather conditions around the world, Taiwan, United States, BD is here to tell us how it's going in Nigeria. BD Nana from Lagos, Nigeria. You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sir George. Massive man.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me
Well,
again today.
all right, Diva. Yeah, there is storm. We're having typhoon in Asia. We're having a lot of problems in United States of America. Our own is political storm in Nigeria. So maybe Billy can give us a little bit of the storm that is raging in Nigeria too. Welcome, Billy. It's good to see your
Welcome,
beautiful
BD.
face.
It's good to see you, BD. Yes, we're going through some international news. We just talked about the typhoon. It's called Typhoon Krathon in Taiwan, and the Hurricane Helene in the United States that killed more than 200 people so far. So how is Nigeria seeing all of this? We know the north of Nigeria just came out of its own, and there are still more prediction for more floods and destruction. What are we looking at from Nigeria, BD?
Your voice is cracking. I didn't get the question very well. I know you are asking me questions.
Yes, I'm asking you. Sorry, yes, there's a background noise here. It's crazy, but I just have to follow up. But can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you
me now?
clearly.
I know
I can hear you
Okay.
clearly.
Okay.
I know you're speaking,
Also,
but
we welcome Raji Olayinka from Lagos, Nigeria. Raji, can you hear us?
I can hear you clear, loud and clear.
Very good. All
Yeah,
right.
I can hear you very clearly. Maybe
Okay.
Billy, you might have to log out and log back in and see if it will correct it, because
Yes.
we can hear him very clearly actually.
Okay, thank you. The background noise is serious anyway. But anyway, we're talking about all these weather conditions. The one in Taiwan and the one in the United States that have killed so many people. We also talked about what happened in between the African Great Lake, that between Congo and Rwanda. We saw that boat capsizing by the Lake Kivu. Raji, you are one of those that brought those news to our notice. So how did you copy that? What happened? What actually happened to those people?
We could actually see that the boat was quite overladen. I'm sure there were too many people for that boat, and unfortunately it capsized. You could see that it was carrying more passengers than it's supposed to carry. It's a very, very unfortunate incident. Right after what has happened in Nigeria on the Niger River, where we lost a lot of people too. It's all about overloading the boat. Very, very sorry about that.
Very, very sad indeed. BD, did you people see that from Nigeria? What happened in Congo, Republic of Congo? BD, okay, I think BD can't hear us. Okay, that's it. Some very terrible weather conditions there, gentlemen. Let's move on to some other international story. This morning, I know you probably don't have this update. Maybe Kim Jong Un, the leader of the North Korea, threatened to nuke South Korea without hesitation. He said, if they provoke him after he saw some muster bunking plan, some military action. So Kim Jong Un is making this announcement this morning, coupled with the fact that we have situations in the Middle East and all of these places. He's coming with his own intimidation. Man, I know you probably this came this early, this not long before we came to the studio. George, what do you think is happening? Is there World War III brewing around the world? Are we seeing people getting agitated for nothing?
Well, the devil is on a rampage because his time is near. So that's what we're seeing. And many of his servants are, listening to his voice and trying to destroy mankind. But the timing of God is not near. We still have a few more years to go before that will happen. But these are signs of the end of the time. And that's what we're seeing. Rumors of wars, kingdom against kingdom, ethnicity against ethnicity. ethnicity. So this is what you're seeing, and we're seeing it happen all over the place. But and this is part of the reason why I don't know why they would have allowed even United States and Russia and the rest of them to have weapons that can declare the whole entire mankind. So this is man's destruction, and it might eventually happen. But it's not yet time. It's not yet time. We still have a few more years to go before all these catastrophic threatenings will take place, because it will happen eventually. Even what's his name? The Emperor of Russia is also threatening, that he can, press the button. So this is part of the reason why we have to be in control of some of these things, not to allow some of these unreasonable, wicked men to be in power, whereby they will not care about, lives on earth, but only thinking about themselves and about their own ego. We shouldn't allow such to happen. We need reasonable people to be ruling. Anyway, that's a subject of another time.
That's a subject of another time. Yes, thank you. Raji, he says relationship between the two Koreans at its lowest point in decades now. So, do you think the man's threat will happen? North Korea threatening South Korea that they will nuke.
I have the view that the guy in North Korea is a spoiled child, and sometimes he seeks attention. This is part of his attention-seeking maneuvers. Talking about the end of time, there is no end time at all. I'm sure that this world will still be there in another 1,000 years, if you are alive to see it. So there's no biblical prediction about nations. Nations have, from time immemorial, nations have been fighting nations. So it is nothing new. So
as it was in the days of Noah.
And about unreasonable men and reasonable. One man's terrorist, other man's freedom fighter. One man's stupid, wicked man, other man's benevolent man. One man's unreasonable leader is another man's very, very precious leader. So let us be judgmental about who should have access to nuclear weapons or not. Human beings should not have had access to nuclear weapons in the first instance. But having opened the Pandora's box, it is up to them. The heart of man is vicious and wicked, even unto itself. But there comes a time when preservation.
Okay.
In essence, really, that's the understanding of different people. During the days of Noah, they never had rain, and when Noah was talking about rain coming, everybody was like, this man is a madman. Nothing is happening until rain came, and he got into his boat. Scientifically, it's been proven. Even archaeologists have actually discovered that it actually did happen. So, whether we believe it or not doesn't change the fact that it will definitely come to pass, and it surely will. Definitely.
It will surely will. BD, I hope you can hear us now. What giving some international updates. Now, gentlemen, let's go full out to the Middle East, and it's all out war. The Middle East is not playing. Israel is not playing. Iran is not playing. Lebanon, everybody is blowing up. George, the update says some of the updates we have. Let me just run through some of the update we have from our place here. Israel stopped the UN chief, Antonio Guterres, from coming to the country over his response on Iran missile attack on Israel. So they stopped the man. They said, listen, don't come here. We don't want to see you. Also, as of this morning, 18 people have been killed in an Israel airstrike on the occupied West Bank of Tokram. Tokram is the West Bank side of the Palestinian. Now, we also hear this morning that there are more Hezbollah key officers that have been killed. You see, what Israel is doing is not just blowing up everywhere. They are going out for targets, key officers, commanders of units. And we had this morning more
strategically.
Yes, Yes. So
strategically.
also,
And Iran better be careful because
yes,
they
also,
are next.
yes, but also we hear that people, Lebanon government is saying that millions have left their place, displacement of people, millions of people amidst this whole strike. So, gentlemen, this is it. Raji says his own, George says his own, but the fact of the matter is people are dying, things are happening. We're scared it doesn't blow out of proportion. George, let me start with you. What do you think is happening in the Middle East?
Well, what you're seeing is also sign of the end times. That's exactly what it is. Now, when you want to put the whole entire story together, like what you're seeing, we are seeing Iran sponsoring many terrorist organizations to come against Israel. Iran swore that Israel should not leave and they must die. They must be annihilated. So whether it was against Hamas or against Hezbollah, against the Houthis or whatever, all these are people that are being sponsored against a small nation. And what do you expect that small nation to do? To fold their hands and smile and say, come, please keep on, oppressing us. No, they rise up and they taking over. Israel does not negotiate because they are fighting for their lives. Israel takes over and Iran will see it very soon. Strategically, they will go against because, they don't go against people. They go strategically, just like they have destroyed a lot of leaders in Hezbollah. In the same manner, they will go after certain places that are in Iran, especially their nuclear, place. They will go after them and they will destroy them. So that's what you're seeing. And frankly speaking, they need to wake up and understand that Israel cannot be annihilated. It is not possible. They're a small nation, less than 4 million people that are being fought against by these big guns. And surrounding them are war all over the place, wanting to destroy them. They cannot be destroyed. Like I said before, Israel like the burning bush. It is burning, but it's indestructible. They can't. It's not possible.
Possible. But before we go on, don't worry, Raji. Because our viewers are watching, we need to also interact with them. Abiodun Oni, when we were talking about the catastrophe in the Democratic Republic of Congo, he said, "Oh mine, Abiodun Oni," and he also says, "This is scary. Whoever owns this boat must be brought to justice." Abiodun Oni, thank you for adding your voice.
Thank you so much.
That event there, that disaster there was really scary. I mean, how do you load people in a boat and have them die like this, right in the middle of the lake? And that lake is not a small lake. It looks very, very. I mean, look at that. So thank you, Bjorn. Now, Bjorn, we're talking about situations in the Middle East, and we said it's not getting funny at all. This morning, United Nations leader was supposed to be in Israel. That's Anthony Guterres, but he's been stopped from coming because he made some comments when Iran struck Israel 3 days ago. So, Raji, tell us, what do you have to say?
We are talking about Iran sponsoring terrorist organizations without mentioning that Israel is a terrorist nation, the only terrorist nation in the world. Now, about how can Israel be so insolent, so disrespectful of even the whole body by stopping the United Nations Secretary General from coming to Israel? It is insolent. This is evil arrogance for them to be doing that. Israel has no respect for anybody, including the United States. Israel is a pariah state, is a terrorist state, has no respect for anybody, has no respect for anybody at all. And they take the laws into their hands and they can do and undo whatever they have to do. There have been so many United Nations resolutions against Israel, Israel has disobeyed flagrantly and insolently. Let us say the truth. Whether it's a burning bush or a burning lake, it's up to them. But Israel is a terrorist nation, and it is
Well,
the Israeli army.
if you consider self-defense,
The Israeli army is the most advanced terrorist organization in the world.
if you consider a self-defense a terrorism, well, that let it be. Because one thing you have to understand, they have been fought against, they have been, they have been promised to be annihilated. And this started many, many years ago, even when Haman wanted to destroy Israel. Like I said before, the gallows that he built to destroy the people of Israel, he was hung on it. Hold tight. Let me finish. Because of what I'm saying, my gentleman, Ghana. You see. My brother now.
It's raining here.
Oh, okay. So my brother now came back to Nigeria. You see that freshness that was on him, the intensity of Nigerian political storm is affecting him. So, so I don't blame Olayi Karachi at all. I love you. So anyway, it is well because we see things from different perspectives and from different views.
I really pray that there should be peace in the Middle East. I really pray.
No, I pray. But by the way, like I have said it before, there will not be any peace in the Middle East. It's not going to be possible until, as it was predicted biblically, that's what's going to happen. When they shall say peace and safety, there'll be sudden destruction. All the presidents of the United States have tried.
Hold on. Yes, gentlemen, please hold on with your comments. Let's go on this small break. We're still talking Middle East and the escalation. We're still talking the conflicts, the war that is brewing there in the Middle East. So let's go on this break. We'll be back. Raji, we need you to be on one point so we can see you well.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a global governance and diplomacy course now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
George, Raji, you're welcome back to Friday, the 4th of October, our international global update. Yes, George, you were.
Yes, I was saying something actually.
Yes.
You see,
Go ahead. Okay,
What
yeah.
I'm saying
What I want Raji to know is that
Mhm.
if you call Israel terrorists, I'm not taking sides now. I'm just trying to be a little bit um, 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 objective. If you call Israel terrorists, what do you call the Hezbollah group and the Hamas and all these people that have put the Lebanese in jeopardy? George,
Mhm.
these people, they were never in Lebanon. Lebanon was never a Hezbollah zone. Hamas was not Lebanon. Hamas wasn't in Lebanon. They came during the passage of time, settled there, and were able to use those locations, those territory, as their point of attack and all these things they do. So if you say Israel is terrorist, I mean, what do we call these people? What are they? Because they are the core problem of what we're facing now in the Middle East. That's what I want to say. Raji, did you hear that? Did you hear me? George, did you hear what I said?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay,
I
Raji,
heard you very
you
well.
want to respond to that?
I heard you loud and clear. I heard you loud and clear. And you are taking the matter from the middle. Sorry, there's a lot of background noise here. I have to run away from the sun, from the rain, to come inside. And there's a lot of activity around me. So please forgive me for the noise, for the background noise. Now, going to your point, you took the history of the situation in the Middle East from the not even from 50 years ago. You took it from about 10 years ago. I'm telling you for a fact that Israel is the most advanced terrorist country in the world. And the Israeli army is the most advanced terrorist organization you can ever find anywhere in the world. And that's my point.
With all due respect, Ola Nkaraji, my learned historian, the thing is this: whether we like it or not, the hatred of the Jews is almost like the hatred of Igbos. If you do not understand the hatred of the Jews, you will not understand the hatred of Igbos among Nigerians. Because this thing that that was said, they hated me for with no cause, is what's happening to Israel, and it is what's happening to Igbos. So I'm equating it because I can, as an Igbo man, I can sense exactly the same thing that the Israelis are feeling, the same way that Igbos are feeling. When they are just there minding their own business, doing their own thing, wanting just to prosper, and they're being hated and fought against. This is exactly what you're seeing there. Whether we like it or not, Israel became a nation in May 17th, 1948. Ever since then, they gained their independence. What you have seen is actually people coming against them, wanting to destroy them, swearing that they should not exist. Whether you like it or not, what do you expect such people to do? Igbos are dormant right now. They are not fighting against anybody because the whole entire nation is against them. This is what you see in there. But these people have come up and become such a force to be reckoned with. The 1967 war took place. They conquered. Israel cannot lose. That is one thing that I want to tell all the countries around them. Beware. When you come against them, you're going to be destroyed. You dig a hole, you will fall into it. And I'm not saying this because I'm in favor of Israel as a sovereign nation. I'm saying it because this is what's been happening and it will continue to happen. If you go back to history as a historian, go back and find out Benjamin Netanyahu, his younger brother, when he fought, what he did in that war, and the reason why they are trying to make sure that they go to the foundation and the root of everything that is coming against them to destroy them. You have to understand that if they allow Hamas to stay in Gaza, they will come again and kill and maim and destroy their people. And if they allow Hezbollah to continue to stay in Lebanon, if they don't destroy the military might and all their leaders that are coming against them, the same thing will happen again. So when you see them strategically killing all the leaders, the people that are, using their wicked minds to come against them, you will understand what they're going is to the roots and uprooting that root and making sure that they don't survive. Iran is next. So all I'm saying is this: you can try, you can form that weapon, but the weapon will not prosper against these people. Wake up, nations around Israel. Jordan tried it, they did not succeed. So what I'm saying is, wake up and smell the coffee.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
No, hold on. Let me finish. If you come correct for breakfast, eat your eggs and toasts and leave the bacon, because I know Muslims don't eat bacon. So so let's just go with that.
Okay. On top of this, viewers, one people suffering for nothing are the Lebanese. Believe me, this whole thing is just coming on them because they harbor. When you harbor a criminal, when you harbor a bad person, you just suffer. Now we're hearing millions are being displaced. A lot of people have also been killed. Houses, structures, a lot of things have been destroyed. In Lebanon, innocent people that harbored the wrong people, and now they have to face it with this. Now, on top of it again, Iran is coming in. They say they are in solidarity with the Palestinians, and now they are putting their head into something that doesn't concern them. Now, let's see what happens during the weekend, because there's a plan to blow up, George and Raji, there's a plan to blow up the oil storage, oil facility in Iran. And when that happens, gas price, oil price will rise, and that will affect the world's global economy. So, people don't think all of this before they do what they do. Raji, Iran is putting its head in what doesn't concern them. They say they are in retaliation for the killing of Hassan Nasrallah, the Hezbollah headman that was killed. And we don't pray that Israel makes that strike by the weekend, because they want to make the strike by the weekend. So this is
can I just say something quickly, please? You remember when Hassan was killed? Where was he killed at? The building that he was using on the ground where he was, it was a high-rise building with a lot of innocent civilians there. So what would you call a military leader who will just use human shield? Human shield. You are destroying innocent lives because of whatever goal or pursuit you are having. Why would you? Military people don't use humans to shield themselves. It is not done. When they come after you as a leader in the military, and the people you're shielding yourself, if they're coming after you, you are the one killing those innocent souls. And that's what you are seeing with Hamas. That's what you are seeing with Hezbollah. And that's what you're seeing with a lot of these terrorist organizations. They use humans. They use their own people. So that when they are come against, then all these lives will be lost. And then the world will say, oh my goodness, Israel is doing, evil. But they don't blame the people that are using humans to shield themselves. It is unacceptable. It is inhuman for them to do that.
In a time of peace.
Raji, go ahead, Raji. You need to stay in a spot. Let's see your face. We're not seeing your face. I have stayed in the middle. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. You see, I don't understand the logic of Sir George about the military, the Hamas people using, or the Hezbollah people using human shield. Why would you be? Why is there a war already before all these killings, all this bombing of strategic of the habitations of Hamas leaders? No. Let us be. You see, I'll say it again. The heart of man is desperately wicked, and that wickedness is inherent in Netanyahu and all the support him.
Massive Mike, I want to say something after he says this. I want to ask you something. Olayinka Raji.
Evil wickedness that is inside Netanyahu.
O-
When you look at Netanyahu's people,
Olayinka Raji.
evil,
Olayinka Raji.
they are evil.
Olayinka Raji.
I'm
Olayinka,
hearing. Yes,
you are the head of your household.
yes, sir.
You have a problem with your neighbors.
Yes, sir.
Your neighbors wants to destroy you. And you bring your wife and you bring your children and you
Why is
stand
it
behind.
too
No, oh, no. I'm just asking a question. You bring your wife and you bring your
It's too
children in
simplistic for me
front
to even answer.
to be a shield for you. A shield for you.
It
When
is
these
too
people
simplistic.
are fighting you, who are you? A wicked man or an innocent man? I want you to answer
It is
me.
too simplistic for me to even answer you. I'm not going
Yet
to
it's
answer.
not. It's reality. You are the head of your household. You are a leader in your house. You know that people are coming with arrows and bows, and then you bring your wife and your children in front and you stay behind and hide yourself there. If your children, God forbid, anything happens to that, who will we blame? You or the
It's
people
too,
shooting at you?
it is too simplistic for me to even answer.
No, it is not simplistic. It's reality. It is reality. It's a diplomatic, political, military reality. That's what you call it. That's what you call it. And any objective, reasonable man will understand my question
Is
and
it
answer it
because
because you are the head of your family.
when you start using words like any reasonable and objective, you are now becoming judgmental, and you are laying yourself too open
I
for
apologize for that. I apologize for using reasonable and objective. But what I'm saying is, one
because
example that I'm giving is a simplistic, very, very simple analogy of what could happen with a man and his family and a nation and their people. That's what I'm saying.
in those days when a champion of an army will come against the champion of the other army has gone. So all the analogy you are making is rather too simplistic for me.
All right,
It's not
gentlemen.
simplistic.
Anyway, oil price will jump if this thing happen, and a lot of commotion will happen if we have further more strikes. Yeah, George, do you have anything to say again?
No, because it's still exactly the
George has
same.
said enough.
This is exactly the same thing that
George
I
has
said
said enough.
when right after the pandemic. Right after the pandemic, Putin did not consider the world as a whole. Do you know that the war in Ukraine have cost the world for trillions of dollars? Common people, when it comes to oil prices, when it comes to food insecurity,
Have you
because
forgotten?
one man made a decision that because of my pride or whatever the case might be, I must get my way. And that is still what is happening. And this might be a result of Iran being hit by Israel. If it happens, the common man suffers. The common man suffers because each person, where Nigeria is crying right now because of the increase in fuel. They say subsidy is not being paid, but they're still paying it. But yet you buy gas for 1,200 naira. So what I'm
Yes.
saying, common man suffers when these egotistical maniacs make self-centered decisions that will destroy people. That's where we need to come. The common sense governance.
Have you forgotten the blowing up of the Nord Stream pipeline that supplied very, very cheap gas from Russia to Germany and Western Europe? Have you forgotten that?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
You don't put that. You don't put
No, I
that
didn't.
with a maniac who would decide to blow
Who
up that
did
Nord
it?
Stream.
Who did it? Ola Karaji. Who burnt
The
it?
Americans did it. The Americans did it.
Oh, what proof do you have? It's an
Oh,
allegation. It's being
Okay,
alleged.
gentlemen, let's begin to go crop it up. One more topic. Melania, the wife of Trump, has a memoir out, and somehow some of the stories, some of what she's writing about contradicts the husband's campaign belief. The memoir will be published on the 8th of October. Now, one of the issues there is challenging her husband's campaign on abortion. So Melanie is saying that she has carried this belief of abortion with her throughout her adult life, and she believes that what she said is the support of a woman's right to control her own body is very vital. So, George, Melanie has written this book, and this is what she's saying. It sounds real interesting because it goes totally opposite of what the husband is also talking about. So,
Sorry,
Melanie says,
supporting abortion.
uh-huh. Yes, yes, she's supporting. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. That's what I mean.
Okay.
So, what do you have on that, George? I know you're close to that story.
Well, I'm close to the
Said
story.
the right to abortion is a woman's choice, and that contradicts the husband. Tell us, George.
I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this the same analogy here. Jesus fed 5,000 men besides men and women. I'm going to do this because sometimes we need to go there, as much as we don't want to. And then all the people ran after him. And he started telling them, unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you will not be part of me. And the disciples, everybody that was following him ran away. And he told the disciples, where would you all want to go to? Jesus did not come to force anybody in this world. The crowning achievements of God's creation in this our present world is the volition of choice. People can choose what they want to. Christ was there during the reign of Romans against them. He never come against the government. So what I'm saying is Melania Trump is actually saying what she believes. And many in America would rather be the ones to choose what they do with their own body. So when a government now comes and begin to mandate in such a way, I can tell you one thing. You see what Melania wrote there? That is Trump's belief. Trump is fake when it comes to politics. He comes to say what people want to hear. When Trump is talking about immigration, she actually spoke about immigration also. She's like, I am not in line with my husband's narratives about immigration. Neither am I with it when it comes to abortion. So Trump was a Democrat before. So, and then when he found out that conservatism would be the way to go with a lot of people in America, he turned to become a Republican. So what we are saying here is this is the core belief in their household, and this woman is writing it. If you catch Trump from outside of politics, he will tell you and agree with his wife, I'm in support of her. So what he says outside and what is happening in his household is like night and day. That's all I can say about that.
No,
Thank you very much.
About being Democrat and being Republican now. Do you know that most blacks pre-1960 were mainly Republicans?
Of course. I know the history. I know the history.
Yes, they are mainly Republicans. So whether Trump was a Democrat before and is now a Republican is not something to be considered. Now, about abortion. Yes, you have a right to whatever you want to do with your body. But then when it affects life, by the time a fetus has been given life, you do not have control over the life of another person, even if that person is going inside of you. That is how the government should have to be able to protect certain things. There were cases where abortions were carried out on preterm, just a few weeks or months to being born. Abortion were carried out on pregnant women and aborting the life of an almost formed.
That's a negative narrative. That's it. That is been proven to be wrong in America. It's been proven to be wrong. Okay, go ahead. 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 I apologize.
It's okay. Okay. Let's also talk about another awkward.
Let him land. Let him land.
Another awkward situation in the political campaign going on, American presidential campaign. The daughter of Juliana, Rose, Juliana, the daughter of Trump's personal attorney, she came out yesterday to say she endorsed Harris, Kamala Harris, and this is really interesting. So we're seeing all these back forth movements, awkward movements. It's our own opinion, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even his Cheney is something. Trump's son can vote against him. They are all personal opinions. Let them go to the vote and let the people vote. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Can I say something? Can I say something? You see what is happening? You see what's happening? You see what's happening in Nigeria today? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Yeah.
When the wicked take rule, the people mourn. Everybody that has gone with Trump is cursed. If you go back and begin to see the number of people that actually rose up under his ideology, most of them are in jail and most of them are still going. By the way, before you say anything, let me show you something. I want you to see this. Can you see this? That's my man. That's Donald Trump. That's his tie. I have it. And that's what I'm wearing today. He wore something similar. And that's when it dawned on me that this is my man. I've already admired him before. So when I'm talking against part of his ideology, political ideology, I'm not against him. I'm against his political ideology. Okay? So what I'm saying is this. Understand it from the way it is. Look at everybody that have supported his political ideology. Many of them are in jail today. Many of them, January 6th, a few people died because of his pursuit to overturn the election. Like it or not, it is true. If we deny it, we're not being true to ourselves. So this is America. So what I'm saying is, Giuliani's daughter to come out openly and say, I don't want to have anything to do with this man. I don't want to have anything to do with his rule. This is how he destroyed my father. The father made a choice to support Trump and lied. He's been disbarred in New York and in Washington State. And then before you know it, he'll be disbarred all over. The same thing he's lost. A lot of people are losing. Many families are without their fathers because of Trump. Many people are languishing in jail because of Trump.
Wow.
We will not allow that to happen again. It's not supposed to.
All right. Raji, do you want to say anything? Any last words before we go?
Bring it up, Raji.
I'm surprised at Sajos statistics of people who supported Trump who are now in jail. If you look at the election
results, is it not true?
If you look at the election results, Trump had more than 120 million people voting for him. Are they all in jail? Oh, please.
No, people that work with him, people that supported him, a lot of them are in jail.
All right, gentlemen, we have to go. It's time. We'll be back on Monday with Between the Lines. Thank you very much, George.
Allah Karaji, you're my man all the way. And the reason why I love you, the reason why I love you is you bring another aspect of the whole entire situation.
Yeah, all right, guys. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. On Monday we'll be back. We'll be monitoring the election campaign trail. We'll be monitoring what's happening in Congo, Republic of Congo, that disaster. We'll be monitoring all the weather conditions also, very disastrous weather conditions around the world. And hopefully, let's see if it will begin to calm down, the escalation in the Middle East. So on this note, we want to say have a beautiful weekend. My name is Magodin Weajunwa. I've been here with Olayinka Raji. I've been here with George Chuku, and wish you guys all the best. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you on Monday in between the lines.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.